Right, welcome back to the channel. If you've not been before, we're taking this crappy old boat and renovating it. If you've not seen the other videos, have a look back. You'll see in the series we've done a few videos now as we're working through this, and we're going to carry on with plenty more to come. I think at the end of the last video we just we'd extended this transom and we've got a couple of layers of fiberglass on it. Since then, we've put a couple more layers on. Starting to come together a little bit at the back end, as you can see. We've been working on this well area, this outboard area. You can see we've got I think we've got about 4 layers on that transom now. And we've put some reinforcing in these corners, a bit of matting. We've reworked this little area as well. There was a bit of cracking just on this edge here. So we've matted that up. I think in this video what we're going to do is we're almost ready for a bit of paint. So we're gonna fill some of these holes from where it's had cables running through it in the past. Obviously we've got to redo all that. But I think we'll a clean start. We'll fill that. There's quite a few little screw holes in various places around it. We're going to fill all them and sand it ready for painting. And we'll get some paint on this aft end. This is the filler we're going to use. This is just from our local tool station if you're in the UK. Big boy plastic flexi filler. It's pretty cheap, £7 or a bit less than £7. Don't know what it's like, never used it, but reading by the instructions it looks like the type of stuff that we want for this. So that's what we'll do now. We'll give that a go, sand it down, get some paint on it. So this tin says that it's a 2-part hardener. Sorry, 2-part filler. Comes with a little spreader, but it basically says the ratio is that 1 tube of hardener does that 1 full tin of filler. But we're not using the full tin right now because you've only got something like 5 minutes. So you've got to try and work out. Bit of a guess. Let's try. So I'm not because it's the first time I've used it. I'm not going to mix too much until I've worked out how quick I can use it before it sets, etc. So that's a guess, complete guess. Can you see how much I've mixed there? So, like I said, that 1 tube does that full tin. So I'm guessing that's how much I need for that. Let's have a look, see if I've guessed right. It's quite sloppy. Right, so what I've done here is where we've put the matting on, obviously it has like a hard finish, so I've just put a bit of filler over the edge so that when we sand it, it's never going to be perfect, but it's just so it looks smoother from this smooth surface over to this kind of roughish fiberglass matting. So you can see what we've just done there with the filler as we've gone round just to put a bit in, and then we'll sand that up tomorrow when it's dry. Right, we've let this dry overnight and it seems to have dried alright. All we've done is we've just tried to get rid of that lip off the edge of the matting, and I've just taken my little Black & Decker mouse sander and I've sanded this side, and you can see you will still be able to see the edge, but it's just taken that step off the edge. That's all I'm trying to do. Bit more sanding yet. Right, so we're using 2 types of sander. I'm just going to show you one. you've probably already got something figured out yourself, but this one here is a Black & Decker mouse sander. I guess they call it a mouse because it's kind of shaped like a mouse. That's ideal, you can get in the corners, very useful. And then I've also got this bigger orbital sander, one very expensive. That one was actually from like a second-hand shop, like a pawn shop. I gave 10 quid for it, £10. They probably give some baghead a fiver for that. I sold it on. And this one is just from like my local DIY store, Wicks, and I can't remember how much it was. It was about 60-70 quid. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, really really makes a difference. So we've got it sanded down now, as you can see. We've sanded all the bits. It's come up all right. So we're finally going to put some paint on. I didn't think this day was ever going to come. I could keep sanding and filling and sanding and filling to get a showroom finish, but this is never going to be a showroom boat. This is going to be a fun boat, bit of fishing, a bit of diving off, paddle boarding, that kind of thing. So we're just going for a semi-decent finish, nothing crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the undercoat, the primer. That's what we're going to do today. We'll get this well bay primed up. We're just going to put it on with a roller, see how it goes. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a wipe down with some acetone. So I'm just going to put some acetone on a rag, wipe it all down, just get all the loose dust and that off before we paint it. So just show you another thing that this is really good for. When you fiberglass around these corners, you always end up with little bits of fibre sticking out and they're dead sharp. This just sands off the edges, just like that. It just gets rid of all them fibres, takes all the sharp edges off. Right, my choice of paint, this marine primer undercoat, made by a company called T-Mac. This is actually Teal and Mackerel, they're a Hull company, which is my hometown. Just coincidence, but they're absolutely brilliant. I probably should send them a message, see if they'll give me a couple of free tins for plugging them all the time. You never know. Anyway, so light grey primer undercoat. It makes the top coat pop as well. A little trick a painter showed me once was when you're in between, you know, using a tin, if you're in between emptying the tin, sorry, you know, putting the lid back on, that kind of thing, taking it back off, put a bit of masking tape around it like that, just to seal the tin. It stops your paint getting that like skin on the top. You know, it takes a few minutes, and it's, well, seconds it takes to do that, and it saved me well ever since I've been doing that. Right, we'll get this popped up on single pack paint. So you can use the fancy 2-packs that I mentioned in the other videos, where you've got to mix them with a hardener and that, and you've got a set amount of time. But this is easier, and it does it. You know, does a good job. We're just going to roller this on. So we're using a little 4-inch foam roller. I'm just going to dip it right in the tin like that. There's the first coat, the undercoat primer. As you can see now why I filled that edge and sanded it in. Now, don't get me wrong, that finish is not excellent, but it's going to be enough for me. Now I could fill all these blemishes in. See, when you get this first primer on, it shows you all the marks. You can fill them and sand them, and fill them and sand them, until you've got a new looking boat. But that is not what we're going for. And I watch all these YouTube videos, people doing these boats and painting them, and they're giving you like showroom finishes, how to get the exact, I mean, you can use a roller and then you can tip it with a paintbrush and make it look like it's been sprayed on. But when I walk around the boat yards near me, that's not the kind of boats people are working on. They're working on heaps like this. certainly where we are in the world anyway. And this is the kind of finish that everyone's going for. Well, you know, that'll do kind of finish. So we'll stick at it and see how it turns out.